God damn it.
All right. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Zero Supervision. I'm Billy. I'm here with Dustin. Dustin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome. Nice to hear. And how about you, Joe?
I'm feeling very sexual today.
Oh, my.
All right.
I also want to let everybody know before they listen to this episode that they're about to learn some stuff that they can't unlearn. I'm about to drop some fucking knowledge on everybody. We're going to uncover the truth about the shape of the Earth.
Don't be too serious. I really hate to have to hit you because I will, out of love. Sometimes you got to punch a fucktard.
NASA, which stands for Never a Straight Answer, is defending the ice wall from us, trying to figure out what lies beyond it. And I'm telling you right now, there's some shit out there we don't know about because we live on a fucking flat Earth.
All right. That's enough. We'll save that for when we get to you.
I'm out.
We'll save that for when we actually get to that.
I'm done.
No, nobody's out. You can't get out of the fucking flat Earth.
Technically speaking, if it is flat, I should be able to just walk off.
No, because there's an ice wall. But I'll get to that. We're gonna get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay?
We'll get to it.
I'm gonna blow the fucking lid off of all this shit, and NASA's gonna have to write us an apology because they've been fucking lying to us. But it's not.
All right. We'll get to it eventually. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start off with weird shit people eat. This was inspired by Tide Pods. So Joe, Dustin, and I, we all have a little group chat that we do, and we've been ranting about this for a while, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make this my fucking topic, because stupid people really get my attention, not in the most positive light, but they really do get my attention. They get all of our attention. They encourage a lot of topics from us. But, so I went and I looked up the most common things that people actually eat. So, right now, the most popular thing is Tide Pods. But also, did you guys know that people eat bath pearls?
I'd imagine that happens a lot.
How could you imagine that happens a lot? That shouldn't be something.
Because they're because you know what it is? I see them looking at them, and they're nice and perfectly round, and I can kind of get the impulse, but I would never actually do it. You know? Like, as a child, I would have done it.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I've seen some crazy things besides the Tide Pods. There was a show. I'm going to plug the show real quick just because it was a show that really showed the fucked up side of people, which was My Strange Addictions.
Oh, yeah. I've seen people eat, the stuffing out of couches and shit on that show. It's kind of fucking weird, yeah.
There was a girl that ate sand.
This is an actual condition. People actually have a condition called pica, where they, eat things that are inedible, and it mainly happens in pregnant women and people who are deficient in a certain type of vitamin in their body. But the Tide Pod thing is not pica.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm not making fun of anybody
stupidity.
who has pica. Pica is I'm sorry if you have it and you should get help. But this is not that. This is the internet says I should do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, no.
And that's not the same thing.
No, and I just can't stand. It's gotten to a point where even YouTube is taking down the videos of eating the shit. First of all, YouTube already does enough shit to fuck up everyone's day. How do they not notice that people are eating chemicals on their fucking, their video platform? How do they not notice this? Oh, we're going to demonetize, basic bitch shit that are pretty innocent. But, these Tide Pod ones, we're going to just let them go ahead and just mow them motherfuckers down.
Well, they did take them down. They did
Eventually,
take those videos down.
not right away.
But then they're also, if you put up a new one, like a Tide Pod video, they're giving you a content strike.
Yeah, finally. How long did it take for that Tide Pod? The Tide Pod thing's been going around for 2 weeks now. They just did this a couple days ago. It's just another incident.
It has been going on long enough now that they're locking up the Tide Pods at grocery stores and stuff, like the way they lock up anything that's expensive or something that you wouldn't want somebody to get their hands on in a grocery store.
Now, I will say that this is kind of ironic. We're overpopulated as a species, but if we just start letting shit run its course, I don't know, as our generations progress, it seems like we're more mentally just less there. I never was encouraged to eat Tide Pods, but I don't know.
Well, I think it's a symptom of the internet. You get people together in a large enough group, and you get somebody who's oh, they're idiots, they'll do it. And then you get people who are fame hungry or like attention hungry enough that they'll actually do shit.
It's
like
basically Mikey from the Life cereal commercials.
that. Mikey will eat anything.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he likes it. He likes it.
That's pretty much it.
He's not foaming at the fucking mouth.
I was gonna say I've seen pictures on like Twitter and stuff of people. They like have pictures in the like CVS and stuff, and they're like, "Oh no, they've locked up the forbidden fruit." I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you people?"
Well, they people have gone on to make things out of other things to look like Tide Pods. Like we found a pizza thing. I think Dustin found that, and then I found a video of this company in New Jersey that's making like Tide Pod candies.
That's exciting.
Just to cash in on this shit.
That's exciting.
And I'm like, that's so fucking dumb.
So I also found that there are some people that eat, the colorful bouncy balls that you put 25 cents into a machine and then you get them. People eat those. How the fuck do you eat that? I would choke on it.
I've seen people chew on them, but I've never seen anyone like they chewed on it kind of like gum because it's kind of rubbery. But I've never seen people actually swallow. They usually just spit it back out.
There's fabric softener beads.
It's the same thing as the Tide Pod thing. Though.
And then here's another one. Fiberglass insulation. You're turning into the Pink Panther at that point.
That's not okay. Let's just put this out there, but like it's not good to have that stuff touch your skin because it can fuck your skin up. Can you imagine what it does to your esophagus and your inside of your stomach lining and everything else, and then also your asshole as you shit that stuff
I got another one that'll terrorize anyone that needs to go to the bathroom. There are people that eat Play-Doh. Can you imagine how hard that poop is to push out?
Oh, Play-Doh's not that bad though. It's almost like a dough. It's edible. It's meant to be like non-toxic and stuff.
I still feel like your poop would be incredibly thick from it.
I mean, you probably would. I'm not saying it would. It'd probably be colorful too. I imagine really colorful. Actually, you know what? It's gonna be like just like using the Magic Play-Doh playset where you like squish out the star or whatever, but it's not a star. It's just a turd.
That's the best Play-Doh set.
Actually, Play-Doh looks like a turd. If you mix all the colors together, it comes out kind of brown. So.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you mix all the colors together. They make brown.
Yeah, so I went and Googled what was actually in Tide Pods to figure out what the hell these people are consuming. And so one of the things, I can't even pronounce half of this shit, but there's polyvinyl alcohol.
Oh, polyvinyl is the stuff on the outside. That's that casing that's around it.
Yeah, it does hold it together. It's also used in the making of paper. So, I mean, I guess if you like eating paper, there you go. Then there's denatonium benzenate. This stuff is a bittering agent that was added by Tide in 2015 from stopping kids from eating or swallowing their products. They literally anticipated these fucktards having this challenge.
Because it looks really... Have you seen one up close? They look really pretty. I'm not going to lie. Like, I would never want to eat one, but they look really nice.
So they look really pretty, but there's only one thing that I want to eat that looks really pretty, and that's a person, and I'm not actually consuming them.
What is wrong with you? That is... You know what? There's other things that you could have said. You could be like, oh, star fruit or dragon fruit or any of the other like vegetables that look nice or whatever. But no, I'm gonna eat people.
Not as like you're actually consuming them. I even went and said that, you dumb bitch. Not a consumption.
You know what? I was thinking about doing cannibalism for the next episode, but yeah, I'm definitely doing cannibalism now. Everybody look forward to the next episode where I handle cannibalism because Billy's going to be eating people pretty soon.
No.
He's gonna be the one to try it.
I'm single and I'm talking about doing people at this point.
Doing them, then killing them, then eating them. All right, Jeff.
Here we go. Here's the truth of this episode. Billy's trying to get laid, and this is his advertisement on, hey, if you're pretty, come let me eat that.
Billy, are you on OkCupid and all that?
No.
No, what do you want?
Not really anything. Like, I go on Tinder, but that's more of a ha-ha kind of a thing. Dustin's seen that.
Oh, I know. You've shown me some of the pictures off of there the other day. There was some lesser thans on there.
Like, I rather meet people in real life.
Couple threes. There's maybe one or two twos.
There's a few people that I see on there. I'm like, wow, you're like, I'll actually read what they have to say about themselves. I'm like, wow, you seem like a really awesome person. And so I like found a couple people on there. I'm like, wow, you're really awesome. But I mean, that's really all that I'm there just to kind of like look. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's kind of like you're at the zoo and you can't touch anything.
This whole week has been us all experiencing like the dregs of society, because I had my I started classes for the semester, and like everybody who's in my graphic arts design, and I hope that they're listening so I can let you guys know, you are all like twos. And also there's one guy in there who thinks that my teacher is his best buddy, and the teacher's like so put off by this guy, it's clear, but he looks like a ballpark Frank you left in the microwave for a little too long, mixed with a potato, and he has like the neck rolls on the back of his head make this like frowning face, and it's all I can see when I look at him from behind. There's another woman in there, and she's like, I don't know how old, but she doesn't have a single tooth in her fucking head.
So I had my mic muted while you were saying all that so I could drink or take a sip of my Monster, and you started calling all of your classmates too, and I literally almost spent my Monster everywhere.
They look like fucking trolls. And then there's one attractive girl in there, and she knows that she's attractive, so she's over there taking, I swear to God, she took 15 selfies, because I was sitting behind her, and she was like, snap, 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 different angles.
Dude, you need to get into the selfie and flick her off.
I had thought about doing it, and I had thought about making a face in the background, but her face took up the entire shot. There was no way she was going to catch me on it. And then Dustin went to the Pine Box Derby race, or whatever, the thing for Boy Scouts, and he got to sit next to some lovely smelling people.
Oh no, lovely smelling was putting it mildly. These people did not bathe. I'm literally sitting there, and I lean over to Lauren, and I'm like, do you smell that? She's like, shh, it's probably the people in front of us. I turn and I look, and I'm like, oh God. And yeah, no, they reeked pretty bad.
Dustin sent me pictures of these people, and from what I saw, it looks like where cheese comes from.
Well, I mean, one of them literally looked like she had like a rubber band around her wrist, but she didn't have a rubber band around her wrist, like either of them.
It's like when babies are like really fat when they're babies and they have that shit going on. Yeah. It's cute on them, but like when you see it on an adult, you're like, ooh, that looks like diabetes.
You look like one of your parents was the Michelin Man.
You look like somebody's choking a marshmallow.
Look, I can go at this all day. We might want to move on before I offend somebody.
I'm pretty sure you both have offended people at this point. Like, I even told Joe, hey, you're going to college. You should try and advertise us to your peer group. And now none of them are going to like him.
Oh, that's not only the people in my graphic arts design class. And you don't want them listening anyways. That'll bring down the number value of the room. Like, when we have, like, a live get-together in the future, then you're going to have a bunch of twos hanging out there. You don't want that. That's going to be distracting as shit when we're trying to talk. I'm like, fuck, what is wrong with your face?
Yeah, but when we have those kind of people around us, that's where we get most of our topics from. We just look at these fucking people, and we're just like, I have a topic.
I don't want to have to edit out somebody crying in the background of a live podcast.
Here, the opposite also could happen, where we get so good at ranting about this that people are like, "Oh, hey, roast me real quick, come on!" And we'll be like, "All right."
Oh, that's no fun then. Though.
Here we go.
Like the worst.
No. We roast them so good that they have to cry. No, Dustin eventually wants to go to like cons and shit like that. And I'm sure it's going to go really well if we have to do any form of meet and greets. We're like, can you sign this for me? Can you stop eating that bagel while you're talking to me?
You smell like barbecue Fritos, bro. Can you back the fuck up?
Have you been to, like, there's two types. Well, there's really three types. There's your normal people. There's those that go dressed up as characters, and they tend to be real nice. And then there's the third kind, which there's a couple of webcomics that make fun of it and stuff like that. It's like the fat, greasy, smelly ones. And like there was, what was it? VG Cats had a comic where literally he would not shake anyone's hand because every time he went to a convention and just shook people's hands, he got horribly sick. So from that point forward, like if he went to shake anyone's hand, he like had a plastic claw and was like, no, you shake the claw.
Just have a Terminator hand.
I met the lead singer of Puddle of Mud, and he did the same thing. He had a batting glove or something like that that he would shake your hand with because he was always getting sick.
Damn.
You know it's bad. Like Otakon has in their policies that you have to bathe in yourself before you're allowed in the convention center because it's disrespectful and rude to smell like shit.
If you have to say it, that's sad.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you have to make a rule to take a bath, you've got some real... You need to figure out your priorities, because you fucked something up along the way. Baths are a necessity to life, guys.
Yeah, it doesn't help that I have an overly sensitive sense of smell. So, like, those conventions already, I'm like, what the fuck? I walk in, it's like,
I can't wait to be in a car with you, Dustin. I'm going to let one rip so hard that you're going to vomit in your mouth.
Dude, I'm
going to eat a lot of wheat. I'm going to eat like a whole pizza by myself and just start farting in the car.
So I had a guy I used to work with who was lactose intolerant. And one time his sister came in. I was like, oh, your sister's really cute. I had no idea it was his sister. And I was like, you're really cute. He looks at me, literally goes to the store, buys himself like a half gallon of milk and just drinks it in front of me. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, this is what you get for hitting on my sister. I was like, I said she was cute. I wasn't hitting on her. Oh my God, it was the nastiest thing ever.
Dude, feel bad for him. He probably actually did shit himself. Lactose intolerance is no joke when you drink milk.
Yeah, no, it's bad. It's real bad.
I know he didn't shit himself, but holy hell, he would literally, like, when he felt one coming on, would come down, stand next to me, and just let it go. I'm like, oh, you bastard.
If I get a Wendy's Frosty or if I get ice cream from Dairy Queen, I get like the worst stomach cramps like imaginable, and I'm just hurting and I'm waiting for myself to like just shit my guts out, but it takes like an hour for me to like get the shits, and then finally I'll get the shits and I'll feel better.
This podcast is gross.
This shit's nasty. Really?
That was June's only comment about the last one. The first 15 minutes were too much shit talk going on, and I was like, "It's not too much shit talk."
There is never enough talk about feces.
There is plenty of enough talk about feces. I'm over it. I don't even know how we got to this.
Anyways, what are some other things people eat?
Ingredients? Well, there's fatty acid salts. This is commonly referred to as soap. For people who don't know that soap is actually fatty acid. It's still not edible. And then there is another one. It's basically sodium salt. I'm not actually saying its scientific name because that's entirely too much. But it attaches to metals and softens your wash water. Yeah, no, that's a real way to clean yourself out.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I could pull all the heavy metals out of my stomach, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like all that lead that comes from the water, I'll be fine.
You're basically, it's like Drano for your body.
Yeah, it's not like it's gonna leach all the zinc and everything else out of my body, and I feel just get really sick.
Yeah, it's not
my body won't be able to process magnesium or anything else.
It's not going to pull out, essential minerals or things like that. No.
Yeah, no, I'll be fine. And it's not like it's disgusting tasting either. Like, it's the worst tasting thing
Also,
ever.
something else to think about is, can you imagine what the hell these Tide Pods do to your teeth?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, it has to fuck up the enamel so bad. Like...
Yeah, I can't imagine.
That's some pretty harsh detergents that you're exposing your teeth to, and your mouth is one of the most filthy planets filthy like areas on the planet.
Filthy planets.
And
is your mouth a planet, Billy?
No,
it's big enough to be a planet.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You don't know. You don't know me.
Speaking of mouths, so the other day I'm eating my lunch and Billy walks in, and why don't you tell the story of what you saw, Billy, and my response to what you said.
All right, so Dustin and I are at work, and so Dustin, he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go on my lunch," blah 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 blah. I was like, "Okay, go ahead, go on your lunch." About 15 minutes later, I'm like, I need to go to the back and run some numbers, see how we're doing for the day, and then as I walk back, Dustin's deep-throating a corn dog covered in what looks like mustard. I had a lot of questions.
Was he having fun, or was he just trying to eat the whole thing at once?
I think he was trying to make himself gag and cry. I think he's one of those people.
Dustin, explain yourself.
So I'd eaten about half of it. And something I've always done since I was a kid was once you get to the part where you get to the stick, you bite down on the base and you pull it up some so you can get the, part without stick on it anymore. Billy just happens to come in when half the corn dog was already gone, so I'm about ready to do it, and he just sees what looks like an entire corn dog in my mouth.
Oh, so you were chorging yourself with the corn dog.
Pretty much.
You're really fucking gross. You're fucking gross.
It gets even funnier, because I sit there and do that, and I like pull it out of my mouth, and he goes, were you just deep-throating the corn dog? And I just went, yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I was like, it
wasn't that you were shoving food in your mouth trying to hear yourself get fatter. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I should mention, he came in on corn dog number 2 of 4.
Jesus.
Oh, God. No wonder you're already shitting yourself. You're always shitting yourself because you're eating like that. Jesus Christ. That can't be good. Do you know how many phosphates and all kinds of other crazy shit that are in like hot dogs?
And you know what? It's delicious.
You just ate like 6 pounds of pig anus.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a comfort food from when I was
And even
a
if
kid.
they're not like pork based and they're like beef based, then you're eating a bunch of cow tongues.
There's nothing wrong with eating cow tongue.
I like having big things in my mouth. It comforts me.
But yeah, no, that's pretty much all I had for this topic. Also, I just wanted to say our intro, Joe. It was pretty amazing, wasn't it?
That was a solid intro. I like that.
I'm
one.
gonna fucking delete that. That's the only thing I can think to do now at this point is just delete shit like that.
I told you, Dustin. I told you I'd get it in there. I knew it.
I just like how you heard it. You heard like a sigh. And then, oh, fucking delete it.
Joe's like, I'm fucking over it. He's always talking about intros.
I know you're just. I'm like, he's always talking about like we're moving on to a segment. We're moving on to a part.
Well, yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Well,
What if every time you were watching a movie and they changed like perspective and they were like, camera change perspective, and then the next time they cut back to close up,
I'm watching.
far away shot,
I'm watching the timer.
skylight.
I know how much time we're spending on these topics, and so I'm
Okay,
trying
do
to
you have
steer
mention
us.
it in the podcast. Do you need to do that in the? Then just do it in the like naturally, or don't do it by just calling it out. Like that's.
I do it to piss you
Oh
off.
my god!
I just do it for you, Joe.
I can hear you doing like having sex right now. I'm going to put my penis in you. I'm going to go in and I'm going to go out and I'm going to go in and I'm going to go out. And then after about 2 minutes, I'm going to come.
No.
He is me.
To pump chump.
All right.
God.
Yeah, in and out, done. Sorry, babe, I'm done. You can help yourself. The toy is over there. I'm going to bed.
All right, so moving on to our next person, thingamabopper. We have Joe, and he has two things that he looked up. One, not too long, because Joe can be a little long-winded, and
Go fuck yourself.
and then he has our final topic of the day as well. So, Joe?
All right, so I ran across an article talking about an app that got rejected from the Apple Store. It's called Weehee, and the Weehee app is meant.
I got a weehee.
God damn.
Oh, you got him.
It says first thing that popped in my mind. I was like, that sounds like a dick.
Fucking okay. The Weehee app is meant to help people discover whether or not their internet service providers or their cell phone providers are committing net neutrality infractions. So what they do is they send out, they connect to like YouTube or to Amazon, and they do a data transfer, and then they do the same amount of data transfer, but like randomized, and to see if those two things run at the same speed. And it'll report back to you to tell you if you are. And it's also part of this greater study that a college professor is doing to see what internet service providers and what cell phone service providers are committing these acts. According to them, they are studying to understand how cellular internet providers give different performance to different network traffic from your smartphone. For example, we would like to know if a provider is speeding up YouTube traffic and or slowing down Netflix traffic. We will use this information to understand how often this occurs and where it occurs and what are the implications. So you'll go through and they'll run these tests on there, and eventually they'll compile enough data to be able to tell you whether or not your internet service provider is doing this. Well, it turns out fucking Verizon's fucking with YouTube, because every one of my reports is telling me that there's differentiation between like the two data transfers. So yeah, you can go ahead and say that Verizon's fucking with stuff already.
Now, is this Verizon Fios or is this Verizon Wireless?
Verizon Wireless.
Oh, I'm going to test that with my Verizon SIM card.
I would go ahead
Give
and
it a shot.
download Weehee. You can get it on Android. You can get it on Apple now. The reason Apple said they were going to remove it because there was no benefit to the user. So that's why they decided they were going to remove it from the App Store. But a lot of people bitched, and so they put it back up onto the App Store.
Good choices on Apple's part, because that's kind of a bullshit
It really
answer.
is. And it also seems like they're trying to hide it or cover it up or something. It just sounds guilty.
Like they're trying to cover something up. All right, well, now we all know. You can go check out Weehee on the Apple Play Store or the Android Play Store. I don't even know what Apple calls their App Store.
It's an App Store.
Just App
It's
Store.
the App
Kinda-
Store.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, you can go check it out there. All right, Dustin. So what have you brought for the topic today?
All right, so I decided I want to do a little bit of research on hilarious stories of people that have been walked in on.
This is about me.
It wasn't specifically about you. Actually, it came up due to us talking last time after the episode. For those who didn't know, we had a nice little discussion. I shared a wonderful story. Joe laughed. Billy laughed. I was embarrassed, but it was still a funny story. So, my story starts. I had just gotten over a big relationship. It was kind of long term. And I get with this girl that talked to me online. She was being nice. I was like, whatever. Needless to say, she was probably about 300 to 400 pounds at the time. I was a very small 170, 180. So she was easily double
he's
my.
like the cowboy that rides the bull.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close. We got to know each other a little bit, and then one night we just decided to go for it. And we're in my parents' house, and we're in the bed, and I've got this headboard, which I've since thrown away because I learned my lesson. If I did anything, I rolled over on this headboard, it hit the wall. So you can imagine 450, 500 pounds of weight slamming into this thing. It's going to cause a lot of noise.
Is that an earthquake?
I have a fair question. How does a 170-pound guy survive 400 pounds rocking against him? That's the real question.
You hold your breath the whole time.
I was not on top.
What?
Or she was not on top. It was not happening.
How'd he
Dustin
die?
just disappears into her.
She was kind of into some of the kinkier things, and we're going, and she's just, hey, punch me in the ass. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh.
I thought she meant like spanking, so I'm like, okay, was that good? And I'm like 19.
It's always good when you have to ask if it was good.
That's how I always know that they finished. Did you finish? Yeah.
Are you done yet?
You there? It's only been a minute.
So I'm like, she's like, no, I want it harder. I'm like, okay, so a little bit harder. No, a lot harder. Okay, so I took a big swing, and she's like, yeah, harder though. I really want you to punch me in the ass. I'm like, okay. I reeled back, and I just proceeded to pummel on it like freaking Mayweather to a punching bag.
She wants you to hit her like Piston Honda.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I went to town, and she's like, yeah. Needless to say, after a minute of this, all of a sudden I hear a noise. My door opens, and there's my mother going, what the fuck is going on in here? Sees what's going on. Oh, God! Slams the door. And proceeds to yell expletives through the door. Like, you sick fucker, you should have, made less noise.
Hang
We're
a
trying
tie
to
on the door or
sleep,
something.
all kinds of different stuff. Yeah, basically, what the fuck? We're trying to sleep. We have to be at work at 5 a.m, and you two are loud. And the next day, like, I sent her home. I'm done. Next day,
Done with you.
I tell one of my friends, and he goes up to, he doesn't believe me. He's like, there's no way. He goes, you just, no, there's no way. He walks up to my mother, and he's like, did that happen? And my mother looks at him, gives him this look. She goes, that bitch is hideous.
It's always nice to hear when a mother has to say that a bitch is hideous that you're plowing.
Yeah, no, my mother's like, that bitch is hideous. And he like looks at me, he looks at her, and he looks back at me. He's like, what the fuck?
That's a charming story. I have a similar instance or two or three or four. Well, they were never quite that big. I've always had a particular taste, and I stick with that taste. But
Smelly girls.
no. Anyways,
Oh.
so there was I had one individual who this was a hookup. Well, it started as a hookup. We ended up dating for a while. Anyways, we're just going at it one morning, and I've never met this person's parents, nothing. They've never even seen my face before. And I'm balls deep in this person, and their mother walks into the bedroom, is like, oh my God! And like, I'm just like, oh my God. And we're just like, we're hugging. You're not hugging. I saw a chandelier.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, she saw everything that I was doing to her child. And like, I was a little traumatized from that at first. And then I also have...
Isn't there that Sia song that like, it's like swinging from the chandelier, except for it was just your chandelier swinging?
Pretty much. Yeah, it was pretty much how that went. But anyways, that was one of my experiences. I've had a number of other experiences. I've been unfortunately caught by Forest Preserve park rangers more times than I'd like to count.
You know, Billy, if you go right now, you could totally do it in any park you wanted to that's a government park.
That's actually, you know what? You have a fair point, and that's an excellent date. So,
right?
Well, what's more romantic than doing someone on a bridge overlooking a lake and a forest preserve during a sunset? That is just beautiful. That's majestic.
Yeah, while mosquitoes eat at my ass. That sounds like fun.
You know...
Or right now, I can freeze my ass off out there in the rain. That'd be fun, too.
Well, it's not raining here. It's like 60 degrees here. So, sucks for you.
It's cold and rainy here.
I can live through 60 degrees if I'm fucking. All right? There's a lot of body heat going on at that point.
I imagine you're just really sweaty when you fuck. Like, just sweaty all the place.
No.
You're over top of her and sweat's dripping off your nose and into her fucking mouth.
That's gross.
That's what she thinks when it's happening.
I was saying, I'd be so concerned about it being cold, I wouldn't be able to do anything. I'd be like, can we go inside now?
Oh, trust me, you get over the cold really quick. Dude, I've done it when it was like 32 degrees on a picnic table. I don't care. Nothing's stopping me.
But you're a sexual deviant, and you have a sexual addiction.
I'm not a deviant, nor I don't have an addiction.
You have everything.
No, I don't.
Everything's
I'm
wrong
just fun, and also, I'm spontaneous. I mean, come on. And also, you know what? If you want to talk about my deviancies, you and I both know someone that is just as bad as me with wanting to do it outside.
Listen. She's not going to be happy with you. She's going to hurt you for this.
She's going to be like, he brought me into it. I'm going to have to cut him.
I mean, you can always cut it out.
She's going to cut you from taint to taste buds.
I don't think it's anything to be embarrassed about. Listen, I've known people that have fucked each other in bushes outside of amusement parks. It's not that big a deal.
I'm going to say that is, because there's kids running around.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It wasn't really an amusement. It was more of a resort, but still, tomato, tomato.
All the same. There's still kids.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. But with my forest preserve thing, there was no kids around. And then also, the second time in the forest preserve, it was pretty late at night. It was like 9:30. And then this was in Florida. It was beautiful. And I was only there for a few days, but me and someone else were starting to mess around. And we didn't even get to the good part. We, like right as we started to get there, there was a knock on the window.
When Billy says the good part, he means like rough anal sex.
No.
No.
We didn't even, there was no genitalia really exposed at that point. So, no. That was the start to a good part is once clothing starts to strip off. But we hadn't even gotten to that point. We were just starting to get there. And then the cop knocked on the window, and him and his partner were there, and they happened to be friends with her father.
You got so fucking lucky.
Oh, yeah, I have the best luck with me just trying to, get it on with people and just other people barging in on it. So then after that, we were like, okay, well, I guess we can go back to your parents' house. And so we went to her parents' house. I get to meet her parents. That's fun. Her father's friends did not tell her father, so that worked out for the best for us. But they were just like, you have to keep your bedroom door open while he's over here. And an open bedroom door does not stop me. We just face the bedroom door so that way we can hear if someone's coming.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, like I said, I there's not a lot of shame. But you know,
Billy has zero shame.
I'm honest about it. And
You know who Billy is? Billy's the guy at the YMCA who walks around with his dick out.
no. No. You got to go to appropriate place and time. Although I'm not opposed to eventually trying going to a nudist camp. That'd be interesting to go to.
They got strict rules about like shit like that. Like if you start getting an erection, they're like,
I mean, I can throw a towel on it or something. Who cares?
I wouldn't, because I've seen some of the people, and I'm just
Well, you don't need to be attracted to everyone, only some people. Well, why do you need to be attracted to everyone? Everyone has their own taste. Yeah. So, I mean, like, yeah, there's going to be some people that are like, but I can still talk to them and just chill with them, but I'm not going to do them just because I'm talking and chilling to them. And then there's other people that fall in line with your particular taste and what you find attractive for a mate, and there you go.
The only reason I wouldn't do it is because I'd be afraid I'd get sunburnt on, like, my dick. Because I can't imagine, like, getting sunburned on your dick feels good.
No,
well,
not
at
really.
least you'll have an even tan.
My dick will just be super dark then.
That's the Italian olive skin starting to come out of him.
I almost just told you way too much.
Jeez. Our listeners don't need to know as much as I know about you, okay?
They don't call me two-tone for nothing.
They don't need to know that much about you. Like I said, I already know enough about you. Your wife likes to be entirely too informative.
Hey, I wish I could say it was just my wife who's done that.
Oh, I know. I've known a lot of people that just like to just tell me shit about you, and I'm like, I don't want to know about Joe's dick. And they're just like, no, you need to hear about it, Billy. And I'm like,
You need to know size, details, everything else. Let me draw you a picture.
like, everyone that you've dated in the past, they're like, oh, I need to be Billy's best friend. I need to tell him about the guy that's doing me. And I'm like, I don't want to know about Joe's penis, guys. Oh, no. Let me tell you about what we did last night. No, how about not? Let's not do that. How about we go see a movie? We can go see a movie, because Joe knows I don't want to do you. This isn't a date. This is me being formal and judging on whether I like you before I tell Joe, hey, you need to ditch this bitch. And I'm not above that. But yeah, that's some of my incidents of walk-ins. There hasn't really been any recently. All my walk-ins were a couple of years ago and earlier, so I haven't had any recently.
I've only ever had one, and this must have been around 18. I either had just met you, Billy, or I was just about to meet you. And I was 18. It was the first time that a girl had ever gone on vacation with me, and I went with the same girl who had the terrible diarrhea and didn't go to the movie theater with me.
I know who.
It was the same girl. Yeah. So, I feel like everybody's gone to bed. It's like 9 or 10, but everybody's gone to bed. And we were, like, sleeping on a fold-out couch in this, like, upstairs living room den area. But there's a bathroom right next to it. And I was like, cool, we'll go in the bathroom.
Oh, this spells romance already.
So, on the sink, and then
haven't you learned your lesson?
And I hear knock. Well, this is before that. This happened before that. So knock. I'm still like, yeah, the sink is totally safe. It's not gonna break my dick or anything. Knock. And there's several people staying in this house with us. There's my great aunt, my grandmother, my aunt, my uncle, my mother, my stepfather. There's a lot of people here, and I'm like, ha, and my like chest seizes up, and I just like don't say anything, and I make her be quiet, and I'm thinking they'll just go away. We have the door locked, and then it's knock, and then it's quiet for a minute, and then I hear knock, and it's my mother's voice. Joe, are you in there? And I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, we throw our clothes back on. Thankfully, we took the clothes in there with us. And I walk out. It was
Thankfully.
my great aunt who knocked the first time. And this woman's like 70 or 80 at the time. We came out afterwards, and it was my mom, and my great aunt, and then my aunt and her
Oh,
husband.
you had
And
an
I'm like,
audience.
oh, fuck. And,
Joe?
And,
Hey, Joe, are you in there? Are you fucking? Are you fucking?
and I just
Joe?
like,
I think you might be.
and then like my great aunt goes into the bathroom, and then my mom's like, "Why didn't you wait like until later?"
You know what? You can say
I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was late enough.
you can say what you want about me. I've never put my own parents in the situation where they have to catch their son doing something. I've put other people's parents in that situation. You know, the funny part is also about the mother that walked in on me. We end up becoming good friends, even though she saw all that. That was really weird. It was really weird. She was like, I don't need to tell your father about this.
I've seen the chandelier. Now I need to feel it.
No, no. She had smoked most of her life. Her skin texture was that of like 50 grit sandpaper. But she was sweet.
You know, when you smoke cigarettes, you get like a furry layer on your tongue.
That's
I'm
sexy.
thinking that like that would feel pretty fucking amazing.
You know what? Why don't you get back to me once you
Well, just like I told you, the woman who's in my graphic arts design class, she has no teeth. Like I'm imagining that's just got to be amazing. I can't do it because
That's
I'm
meth
married
for ya.
and Dustin's in a committed relationship. You're the only one who has to be able to test this out for us. You have to go find somebody who doesn't have any teeth.
Yeah, guess what I'm not doing?
I expected you to eat a Tide Pod for this episode, but you pussied out on that.
No, I have standards for everything that I do. And everything that you've recommended me doing is below my standards, and I don't do it. You know, I have my... Don't hate. Just because you'll go under your standards doesn't mean that I'm going to.
Listen.
What?
What? No.
That's what I
A
thought.
little cushion for the pushing is good.
You're right, a little is. A little is not always in Joe's storyline, so fuck off. I don't want to hear that shit. Dustin's story sounded vaguely familiar to Joe's story.
Okay, but that's different because
look.
but in the end, when I chose a partner for life, I chose somebody who is an appropriate BMI.
Oh shit.
Somewhat of a similar story of the bathroom. The very same friend that I had told the original story to, him and his girlfriend at the time were hanging out at my place. I was playing video games in the living room, and they started getting frisky, and so they go into the bathroom, and they start doing things. I'm playing games, I'm not even paying attention. My brother gets up, and he goes and he knocks on the door, and they're like, oh my gosh, somebody's knocking. And my brother's like, he's half awake, he doesn't know, but he knew enough. And he goes to bed, and he's just like irritated because he couldn't go to the bathroom. And they come out, and later the next day, I'm sitting in the living room, he comes up to my mother, and he's like, my mother had a very high opinion of him and thought like he was super virginal, would never fool around with a girl, not because he was gay, but because like he had made like this vow that he was gonna wait till marriage for sex and this, that, and the other. And my brother comes up and he's like, they were having sex in the bathroom. And my mother looks at him and goes, don't fucking lie to me. Would never do that. Shit. Let me restart that. I need you to edit out his...
No. He can just bleep it out. You can add a bleep, right?
I can figure it out.
Yeah,
I haven't done it
just
yet, but I
bleep
can
it
figure
out. It'll be funnier that way. Leave in the part where you're just like, shit, I didn't mean to say his name.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
And so yeah, my mother says that. And my mother's like, no, he really did. She's like, no, you know what? Go to your room. I don't want to hear your shit. He would not do that. I know him. He's not like that. Meanwhile, he is sitting on my couch when this happens, and he looks at me, and I look at him. We kind of give each other this look like, well, aren't you fucking special?
Because Dustin's mom does not have the same, like, I guess, opinion of Dustin as she does for his friend.
I'm letting you guys know that I'm not going to be as good of a friend as Dustin. If you guys go upstairs with somebody, and you're going towards my bathroom, I'm going to stop you.
No, you're not.
Because you're not fucking in my house.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Hey, if you and June needed a couch to fuck on, mine would
I'm
be there.
glad you're such a good person, but I'm not. Okay? It's not happening in my house.
Listen,
the only person who's fucking in my house is me.
I need
right?
to leave my mark in multiple places.
I'm telling you right now, Billy. You do that, I can't. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm gonna think of something really terrible. Okay?
This is what you get for desecrating my bathroom. I can't even take a shit in there anymore without thinking about it.
Yeah. It's like just the ghost of your aborted children all over the place in there.
You start hearing random crying, and you're like, what is that?
Androids are better.
Jesus.
I can hear it now.
But let's go ahead and move on to Joe's final, amazing, all-encompassing, spherical topic.
All right, I just want to make it very clear from the onset that all the information that I'm about to give comes directly from the Flat Earth Society's webpage, their wikis, stuff like that. I didn't make any of this up. This is not me bullshitting. I know I do a lot of bullshitting on here, but this is truly comes from their websites. All of the information I'm about to give. I may put a funny spin on it, but this is all stuff that they truly believe and that they're truly putting forth as facts. After reading this, it's interesting. So, according to the Flat Earth Society, the best way one can tell that the Earth is truly flat is to trust one's own senses, to discern the true nature of the world around us. They point to the fact that the world looks flat, from the bottom of clouds that are flat to the movement of the sun. These are all examples of senses telling you that we do not live on a spherical, heliocentric world. And you may be asking yourself, what kind of tests have been done to prove that the Earth is flat? Well, the main one that all these websites and all these societies point to is the Bedford experiment, which proved without a doubt that the Earth was flat by measuring a 6-mile long drainage canal to see if there was any curvature to the surface of the water. In the experiment, they set down 3 poles that were fixed at an equal height above the water level along the length of the canal. As the surface of the water was understood to follow a hypothetical curvature of the Earth, the observation was that the 3 poles aligned perfectly when observed through a theodolite, which is I looked it up. It's an instrument that actually surveyors use in everyday life to survey for like roads and for buildings, and it basically just tells what the level of a surface is.
So I just wanted to chime in there because you said 6 miles, and I feel like they kind of underdid their scientific method.
Billy, if there was curvature,
I went and Googled how many miles the Earth is.
If there was curvature to the Earth, there'd be curvature everywhere.
6 miles isn't enough when the Earth is 24,860 miles around.
Do you work for fucking NASA? Do you work for NASA?
Yeah. Well, not only that, usually most people that do experiments don't just do an experiment on like one single thing. They do the experiment several times at several different variables.
Why do you need to do a variable when you have conclusive proof like that? You don't need variables.
6 miles is conclusive proof for 25,000 miles. I got it.
You know what? My foot's got conclusive proof that your balls will end up in your throat. But that's besides the point.
All right, so you may be asking yourself, but haven't we been to space? And the most commonly accepted explanation for this is that space agencies around the world are involved in a conspiracy, faking space travel and exploration. This is likely to begin during the Cold War's space race, which the USSR and the USA were obsessed with beating each other into space to the point at which each faked their accomplishments in an attempt to keep the peace with each other's supposed achievements. However, the conspiracy is most likely motivated by greed rather than political gain nowadays, using only some of their funding to continue the fake space travels and saves a lot of money by embezzling it for themselves.
So is the whole purpose of saying that the world is round, according to these verified, very smart people, is just to make money from like places like NASA?
Yeah, of course. Like, seriously, because you can't make it to space, all right? Since okay, if you...
So what's their explanation for the space station?
It's not actually there. It's a fake. It's faked. You can make that stuff up in like a studio. It's fake.
So
Wait, aren't these the same shitheads who said, "Oh no, Mars is round, Jupiter's round"?
No, these
but the
are
Earth
they're
is
all
flat.
round.
That apparently we're the only fucking flat
They are
planet.
definitely round, but that's because they're planets. The Earth is not a planet.
what the fuck is the Earth?
It's a
What is it?
it's
Fucking
not
Pluto?
a planet. It's a flat surface.
So we're basically just a massive field.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No, this makes perfect
no,
sense.
it is.
Keep going.
It does make sense when you realize that the planets orbit the sun, and the sun circumnavigates the globe around our pole, and the planets are actually really small because the sun is only 33 miles in diameter. And it's 3,000 miles away from us. Also, the moon is 33 miles in diameter and is 3,000 miles away from us as well. That's why they look the same size in the night sky and in the daytime sky. And the reason that you have day and night cycles is because they circle around the monopole around the flat Earth.
Right.
I thought we couldn't find a topic that would actually make my head hurt and actually make me go into like rant mode, but this shit's fucking
Okay.
ridiculous.
All right.
These people are fucking
No,
stupid.
no.
You guys need to get your scientific shit out of your ass. Go in, actually read a real book.
Listen,
and,
if you
and stop doing
if you
this
were to
stupid
if you
shit.
read the Bedford Experiment, you would understand that they're right. Okay, read the Bedford Experiment.
Okay. I also have another one. There is also now publicly owned companies that are willing to shoot people or strap people onto a rocket and shoot their asses into space so you can actually go and visit space. So are these companies that are actually not embezzling any money, they're spending millions of dollars on R&D and then millions of dollars just to launch these people, and it costs a lot of money to be launched into space. What are all these people that are being launched into space? What are they experiencing then?
It's a
Because,
shadow.
I mean, they are
it's a
going
shadow
somewhere.
conspiracy government thing. It's NASA again. It's NASA making more fake space travel. It's fake. It's just fake. It's all fake.
It's
Billy.
not NASA. It's publicly owned companies.
They're publicly owned, but they're really owned by NASA and the Illuminati, okay? Have you ever met Elon Musk? Does anybody met Elon Musk that you know? I don't think so.
I'm about to get up, go take a shit, and come back when this shit's done.
No, you need to hear the truth. Okay? Because you may be asking yourself...
No. The truth. Explain then how water flows. Considering the fact that water flows due to the gravitational pull on tectonic plates, that if the Earth was flat, would not work.
Dustin, I could explain it to you, but it would take too long, and obviously since you don't understand the Bedford Experiment,
Damn
you
it.
wouldn't understand that either. So we're going to move on.
Joe can't even take himself seriously right now.
I take myself there. This is, oh my god, don't even get me started. Eventually, we're gonna get to the hollow moon, and why the reptilian government is gonna overthrow us all and replace us with alien human hybrids, okay? But we're gonna get to that. That's not right now. That's gonna come at a later episode. But right now, you may be asking yourself, what about all the photos taken of a spherical Earth? And in general, we at the Flat Earth Society, I include myself as part of the Flat Earth Society now, do not lend much credibility to photographic evidence. It is too easily manipulated and altered. Many of the videos posted
Dustin.
to prove around Earth by showing the curvature will show no curvature, even concave curvature at parts. The sources are so inaccurate, it's difficult to build an argument on them in either case. Furthermore, barrel distortion and other quirks of modern cameras will cause a picture to distort in ways not immediately obvious or apparent. Photographs are
Dustin.
also prone to distortion when taken through a bent glass or pressurized cabin, as well as atmospheric conditions on the outside. With a litany of problems, it is easy to see why photographic evidence is not to be trusted.
Dustin, we need to go on a vacation and club Joe down. Just beat him for his own good. At this point, no. I can't let you be stupid.
And if you take a plane, you won't see a goddamn curvature of the Earth.
Yes, you will,
won't.
actually.
No, you won't. You know what? Because quite simply, you cannot. It is widely stated that you would need to be at a height of 40,000 feet to even get a hint of curvature of the Earth. Commercial aircraft are not allowed to fly this high. They were only allowed to fly just under this altitude, 36,000 feet. In addition, the windows of the commercial aircraft are small and heavily curved. Even if they flew high enough for a person to see the curvature, it would still not be visible to any passengers.
So I have another question because I actually looked this topic up since you said you were going to cover it. So there's also now belief that hot on the heels of flat Earth theory comes the hollow Earth belief, which is gaining followers. Nazis and aliens have a secret base.
I'm doing the hollow Earth too. I'm going to do hollow Earth and hollow man. I'm getting to all these things because you know what? There's a secret race of half humans who live in the hollow Earth, but we're going to get to that eventually. Okay, I'm done.
Wouldn't hollow Earth
I'm done doing
and flat
dildos,
Earth
and I'm done doing
contradict
all
each
this
other?
pansy bullshit about balls getting stuck in stuff and penises getting stuck in stuff. We're gonna talk about some real shit now, okay? So you may be asking yourself, why doesn't the gravity pull the Earth into a spherical shape? Well, that's because the Earth isn't pulled into a spherical shape because the force known as gravity exists in a greatly diminished form compared to what it is commonly thought. The Earth is constantly accelerating up at a rate of 32 feet per second squared, or 9.8 meters per second squared. This constant acceleration causes what you think of as gravity. Imagine sitting in a car that never stops speeding up. You will forever be pushed into your seat. The Earth works much in the same way. It constantly accelerates upwards, being pushed by the universal acceleration, or UA, and known as dark energy or the etheric wind. There are also other theories of flat Earth that maintain that Earth sits on a infinite plane, which the sun moving overhead gravitationally works much like a round Earth model, but the Earth will never form into a sphere because the planet is endless.
Planet is endless. That sounds like a sphere.
No, it's endless because it goes on in every direction. You know why it's endless? Because you know what? I'm going to go ahead right now and I'm going to get into why.
Wait. I have something on that. If it's endless, then you said so the sun goes behind the Earth, and that's how there's darkness, right?
No. It spins in okay, so there's a pole, right? And the Earth and the moon are on opposite sides of that pole, and they spin around the pole. They never cross, the Earth's flat, there's nowhere for it to go underneath, okay? So it's flat, and they just spin around in a circle around the pole, and that's how what causes day and what causes night. Or in the very words of the Flat Earth Society's webpage, day and night cycles are easily explained on a flat Earth. The sun moves in a circle around the North Pole. When it is over your head, it is day. When it is not, it is night, and the light of the sun is confined to a limited area, and the light acts like a spotlight upon the Earth. An apparent effect of the sun rising and setting, usually explained as a perspective effect. As the sun descends, it will create a tangent into the horizon. This perspective lines nearly merge, causing a receding body to appear to collapse in on itself. Next to the light of the receding sun, it is dimmed to blackness by a non-transparent atmosphere.
I have there's a little hole in this. We can actually see the Earth's shadow on the moon, and it just
it's
happens
a reflection.
To be
it's
round.
A reflection.
A shadow is a reflection.
It's a reflection.
That's cute.
Because, okay, I'm going to say this again. The moon is fucking hollow, and it's fake, and it's made out of metal, and because the aliens brought it here. But we're going to get to that eventually. And what it means is that the Earth reflects upon the moon, and you see it, and it shines back down on us, much like a fucking mirror, because it's made out of metal, because it's an alien spaceship that took the reptiles here. But we're not going to get into that this episode. That's a future episode.
Kids, I just want to make this a quick public announcement. Don't do crack. Do you hear how he's ranting on? That's the symptoms of crack. You don't want that. You don't want that.
So you may also be asking yourself, didn't, people circumnavigate the globe? The Earth is in a form of a disc, right? So the North Pole is at the very center. Antarctica is a wall around the disc. It goes around the entire circumference of the disc. This is generally accepted.
Now,
this is the generally accepted model amongst members of the society, and in this model, the circumnavigation is performed by moving in a great circle around the North Pole, and the Earth is surrounded on all sides by an ice wall, which is Antarctica, and it holds back the oceans so we don't let the oceans float off into the void, right? And the ice wall is what explorers have named Antarctica, quote unquote. Beyond the wall is a topic of great interest to Flat Earth Society. To our knowledge, no one has ever ventured very far past the wall and returned to tell of their journey. What we do know is that it encircles the Earth and serves to hold our oceans and helps protect us from whatever lies beyond. You don't even want to fucking know what lies beyond.
So I have another question. Another question.
Fire it up.
So we have climate change, which causes
Okay, that's
erratic
fake.
weather
Okay,
patterns.
that's been disproven. All right, but we're not going to get into that.
I'm sorry, but this winter I've literally gone a 2-day span where it snowed heavily here, and then it was 60 degrees here. It's not fake at this point.
Oh, God.
It's proven just through living life.
No, okay.
we can understand. There's throughout our lifetime, we've actually seen a massive shift in our winters versus
It's a natural
how it was
cycle. It's a
25 years
natural
ago.
cycle.
So is my dick, but I don't hear anyone talking about that.
So you may be asking yourself, if the Earth is flat, what does the solar system look like? I kind of touched on this already, but the sun has a diameter of 32 miles and is located approximately, like I said, 3,000 miles above the surface of the Earth. Same thing for the moon, 32 miles around and 3,000 miles above the Earth. In the FET, or flat Earth theory, the planets are revolving around the sun, while the sun itself revolves around the northern hub, or the northern pole. You may be asking yourself, well then, how big are the other planets if they orbit the sun, which circles the northern hub? Well, it's because the planets are really small. Then the other planets are round because they're planets, and the Earth is flat because it's not a planet.
No, we're just a plane, apparently.
Yeah. You fucking idiots. I'm trying to tell you.
No, it all makes perfect sense now. You know, all the planets are the size of quarters, and the Earth is just a flat plane of infinite existence, which would make no sense in itself because there would be no need for a Arctic ice wall.
I went on to the forums on the Flat Earth Society to try to dig deeper to find out the heart of all this.
Oh, so that's what happened.
But
to
I
you.
was very disappointed to find that a large number of the people on the Flat Earth Society forums were trying to suppress the truth by posting so-called facts and science and quote-unquote proof that the Earth was quote-unquote spherical, but us truthers won't let them bring us down.
So you're a truther, just like a believer.
I'm a truther.
No,
I'm in good
that adds
company because you know what?
credibility.
Tila Tequila and B.O.B. Bob, who did that song Airplanes, because you know what? He probably saw in a fucking airplane that there was no sphere to the spherical shape to the Earth. Okay?
Wrong.
These people believe, and they know. They fucking know.
Yeah, they know about as much as if I took a piece of shit, balled it up, and said, "Look, it's Earth." That's yeah.
Look at that. Dustin created Earth.
You know what? No. Then you have to take it and you have to smack it with your hand, and then it's flat like the fucking Earth is. Boom.
But still, it's not infinite,
Yeah,
and the
but-
Earth is supposed to be infinite according to
It
this
is
logic.
infinite.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
You know what?
infinite because we don't know for a fact that it's infinite because nobody's been beyond the fucking ice wall. Because who wants to go out there and risk running into fucking goblins or those things from the Stephen King novel that eat time, the Langoliers.
Langoliers.
Yeah, the fucking Langoliers. Who wants to run into that shit? Not me.
They sound like Rice Krispies.
God damn it.
Joe lost
fucking
it.
love
He
that
can't hold
one.
it
None,
anymore.
none of us can. None of us can actually take this
I'm
topic
taking
that
it seriously. I'm getting to the bottom of
sounds
all
like
this.
it.
And after I cover cannibalism in the next episode after that is going to be about the hollow fucking moon and how it's a fucking spaceship. Or maybe it's a hologram. I don't know yet. But I'm going to find out. It's the fucking
shit.
moon, and
Oh,
it's
no.
you know why? Because the moon shouldn't be as big as it is. Science shows that, and that's the real actual fact. It probably shouldn't be as big. It's kind of weird how big it is because it's and it's also weird that its positioning is such that we actually still get eclipses because other planets in the solar system don't get eclipses because they're either too far away from the sun or their moon is too small. That's a legit fact. Unlike my other facts, which are alternative facts.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
And
we don't use that word.
Well, that's
We
what
don't
they
use
call
that
it
word.
on their website. They call it alternative facts and alternative science.
Yeah.
Wait, that's kind of the whole thing of science is it doesn't have an alternative.
It's a matter of fact.
It's
actually.
it's a matter of your facts of the fucking sheeple government that the fucking NASA, which by the way stands for never a straight answer. And in never giving a straight answer, they don't tell you the truth that the Earth is flat because it's a big fucking conspiracy to line the pockets of the fat cats with more money. Okay,
Yeah.
the truth is fucking out there, and I have found it.
The truth is that the Earth is fucking round.
No, I know it is round. You know why it's round? Because
It's a sphere.
it's
That's
flat,
why.
and when it's flat, it's in a circle, which is round.
If it was flat, how could there be a hollow Earth theory? Because it would, in fact, have to be a sphere.
Well, because one of the two are true, and there actually is a third theory that we live on the inside of a dome. But I'm gonna get to that too.
You know, we live on the inside of an anus.
Yeah, that's another theory. That's a good theory, Dustin. I like
That's
that
why
theory.
it's so black.
That's why everything
That's
smells
why
like
it's so
shit.
black outside. Like,
I don't like the way you say that.
I see how it is. I am being discriminated against because I'm bringing the truth. Do you fucks work for NASA? I think you do.
Yeah, no, I work for NASA. I make so much money from NASA. So
you
much.
fucking
You don't even
shills.
know. All right, guys. Well, I think that's enough for today. We need to bring Joe to the hospital, and
You'll
we need to get
notice
him
why you're
checked out.
driving me there.
But,
The Earth is fucking flat.
Thank you for listening to Zero Supervision. Again, we appreciate all of the support that everyone's bringing to us with their listens. Keep on sharing us. We want to keep growing. We want to turn this into a full-time thing. This is actually our first episode where we're going to be doing 2 a week. So, yay, more content for you guys to listen to, more entertainment.
There'll be another episode on Wednesday, and then also if you could do us a favor and go on to all the different platforms or whatever platform you listen to and like rate the episode, leave a comment, give it a like, whatever the platform has as its metric for telling them that you like it, because the bigger we can grow this audience, the more we can do these things, and we might be able to do other different podcasts in the future. I want to do a comic book podcast in the future. I know Dustin wants to do gaming reviews, but to do that we need to be able to like have a bigger audience. So if you can help us out with that, we'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, we need to be able to support ourselves. We want to eventually do this full time. So thank you all very much. You can follow us on Twitter at Zero Supervision. You can follow me personally at low_Billy Allen.
You can follow me on Twitter at Joseph_Lawhorn, and that's LAWHORN.
And I am Dustin. You'll find me at MAEHARA1286.
All right, thank you all very much for listening. Have a good one. We'll catch you again next time.
Night, guys.